Hi, everybody.
We're back. It's only been a few days, and
It
so
has.
much has happened in the last few days.
A lot has happened in the last few days. It is very early on Friday morning, and we're running on a little bit of sleep deprivation, but we're excited.
A lot of excitement.
A lot.
So, oh my gosh, this has been a long time in the making.
Yes, it has. It's been a few years in the making at this point.
Yeah,
And if you're wondering what's been in the making, what we're talking about, we are talking about the Alliance, which you have heard us mention in passing probably at some point in the last few weeks. This is our modern society of exploration, and we are officially launching pre-sales.
Hills.
It's happening.
Yes. So pre-sales are live. The official launch is November 17th. But pre-sales, you get some special pricing and some special perks, which we'll talk about now. And you also get to be some of the first to join the Alliance.
Yes,
It's exciting.
exactly. You get to be at the forefront of this thing that we've been building and that we are excited to tell you all about this morning.
We've talked about where the original inspiration for this sort of thing comes from, and it comes from way back before we even knew each other, before we started Hidden Compass, back to when we were just nerdy kids, really excited about learning and exploration. We had those stacks of the yellow bordered National Geographic magazines, atlases, encyclopedias, and we just felt all of this excitement around the world, and travel journalism was a big part of that.
It was. I mean, it absolutely was. And I remember, reading those magazines, reading National Geographic, and even Life and Time, Life, which doesn't exist anymore, and thinking about all of these amazing discoveries that seem to be happening. And also growing up near an Air Force base where they were slated to get shuttle launches and kind of being at the tail end of the space age and the space race and all of that kind of stuff, there was this sense of collective human endeavor that I started to miss as I got older. And I think you did too, which is where this came from.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know how Sivani and I met, we we were out, doing our own thing for many years, doing crazy things. I was in South America trying to escape political unrest, and Sivani was sailing across the Drake Passage to Antarctica because we were so inspired by those childhoods. We had different careers, but we met in a bookstore, and we both were really inspired to get into travel journalism. But there was this feeling from a lot of our mentors and a lot of our heroes in this field that journalism was dying, that the golden age was over. And then this just sort of collective sense of the age of exploration in general is over, that we've already discovered most of the things that we need to know about the world.
Right. And this sense that everything was being driven by clicks, and so the opportunities for that nuanced, deep dive, meaningful storytelling that we love so much, people thought was gone. And you and I had a moment where we had to decide whether or not, whether we were going to leave the industry and go do something else, or if we were going to try and change it. And we decided to do the latter.
Which is how we ended up here.
Yes.
And I think that this vision, it acknowledges a more exciting version of our current moment, which is that the age of exploration isn't over. We're in a new age of exploration where it's no longer about planting flags and dividing territories. It's not about conquering, it's about understanding.
And it's not just physical exploration, right? That's a part of it for sure. And there are plenty of places that remain to be discovered. But what's really fascinating and really exciting about the modern age of exploration is it's not just about that physical conquering of a place, being the first somewhere. It's about understanding. It's about ethical exploration. It's about trying to figure out how we can be better citizens and better stewards of places, and how we can respect the people that are already in those places, and do that kind of work and still do these exciting things and make these amazing discoveries, but do it in a way that fits the modern age.
Yes. And I'll jump in here for the skeptics in the audience who think we are perhaps naive or overly optimistic and let you know that we also feel that this is an extremely challenging time, and we acknowledge that it's hard. And in starting this, it became about more than travel journalism and exploration. It became about standing by journalism and science and storytellers and all of these things that we realize it's really needed right now to do this.
I mean, these things are under attack, right? And we call it the Alliance because it's about being allies of journalism, of science, of history, and of hope, right? We do acknowledge that we are facing some of the most challenging times that we've ever faced as nations, as individuals, you know, as a species. And but there's also a moment of realization that some of our greatest challenges are also our greatest opportunities. Yes. And that work is hard and there are no guarantees, but there is still reason to be hopeful and forward looking.
Yes, and active. And that was another part of building the Alliance, is that we were frustrated with the idea that as a consumer of media, you're passive and you read content and you learn about all of these issues, but there's not much you can do about it. And we felt like we have the power of the internet to connect with everyone in the world. And what would happen if a media company were to give a little bit more agency to the audience? And perhaps it's no longer just an audience, but an alliance. And it's this idea of what would happen if we gave you the opportunity to step out of the audience and become an ally. And that's what the Alliance is about.
Right. And so we've been kind of dancing around the specifics of what the Alliance is, but it is a modern society of exploration. So think about those exploration societies of old, but reimagined for the 21st century, more inclusive, more diverse, more global, and exploring the concept of exploration in these modern ways.
Yes.
And so go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, finish. I'm too excited. I keep cutting you off.
I know. I was gonna pose a question, which is, what's the benefit of being in the Alliance? What do our allies get?
Yes. I want to talk about the Pathfinder Prize. So Siv, you mentioned how exploration societies of old funded these grand expeditions, and obviously the nature of discovery has changed since then. But we were really inspired by this idea of funding big endeavors. And so as an ally, you'll actually get a say in which expeditions we fund as an alliance. And every year we're going to be awarding what we're calling the Pathfinder Prize, which is funding for a grand expedition. The first one will be in 2023. So if you join as an ally in the first year, you'll get to vote on which expedition will receive that prize and get to go on its voyage. And we have a whole vetting process. We'll have a panel that will look over the submissions and make sure that they're, you know, of the right caliber. But ultimately, it will be up to you as allies to decide which expedition you feel warrants the prize.
Right. For us, this is about bringing all of you into this process. We've often talked about how we see what we do as a partnership, not just between us and the people, you know, our contributors and the people who write for us, but also all of you. And this is the next stage in that development. And the Pathfinder Prize.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more information about what those expeditions could look like and a call for proposals. But this is kind of like the sneak peek of what the Alliance is going to be.
Yes, and that's just one part of it, the Pathfinder Prize and the voting, and it is an exciting part. But for those of you who've been attending our speaker series events, those events will be included as part of the Alliance membership. So that's a significant value as opposed to buying those tickets independently. We'll also be giving you behind the scenes access and content. And if you sign up during this pre-sale period, you'll be able to attend our Ethos of Exploration event for free. And I'm really excited about this event. It is with Joel Sartor, who is a renowned National Geographic photographer who for the last 15 years has been on a mission, on a quest to document the world's species and to create a picture and a record of biodiversity. And so this is the Photo Arc project, which many of you may have heard about. And he will be joining us for a talk on December 14th at 6 p.m. Pacific. But if you pre-order your Alliance, if you become an Alliance member, you will also have access to a breakout cocktail hour afterwards. That'll be allies only, where we'll get to sit in conversation. And go for it.
Yeah, well, also every ally will receive a signed hardcover copy of Sartor's new book, which I believe comes out next week.
Yes.
Photo Arc Wonders, celebrating diversity in the animal kingdom. And it's 400 plus pages. It features more than 450 photographs by him. And he's an incredible photographer. Some of those images you'll see on our website as you poke around and look at the event and check out the Alliance landing page, which if you just click on Alliance in the navigation bar, that's where you'll end up.
Yes.
Go ahead.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of benefits. The Alliance landing page right now is where you will find all of them. These are pre-sales. So the actual launch is on November 17th. We just want to make sure that everyone is clear on that. The Alliance landing page is what we have now. You can sign up, create your account, but there won't be anywhere to go just yet to exactly follow along with what benefits you get. But the Alliance, the landing page we have set up gives you a pretty good idea of what you are in store for.
I'll point out that you get special pricing. So it's for the pre-sales, it's $129 for the first year, which is amazing. I mean, if you just think about the speaker series tickets, it's $25 a ticket. You have access to 10 events. So that's $250 in value just there. You also get contribution credits for the fundraising campaigns for the magazine to support storytellers and journalists who move you, plus all the other things we've been talking about. So it's quite a good deal, I would say.
It is. It very much is. We're excited. And what we're most excited about, at least what I'm most excited about, is the community that we're building. This is, you get these benefits, but it's also a place to connect with like-minded people who want to celebrate exploration and discovery, who also want to stand up and be defenders of science and history and journalism and all of these things that we see on a daily basis under attack. And this is a chance for you to connect with people who similarly value these things.
Yes. And we will be holding annual symposia. The first symposium will be virtual, but the idea is that eventually we'll all be able to meet together in person, and you'll get to meet each other allies, and also some of these expeditioners, these explorers, these speakers, and get access to that community, which we're really excited about. Speaking of community, I think we have some thank yous.
We definitely have some thank yous. It's been sort of an all hands on deck kind of week. We published a new issue earlier this week, just a few days ago. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you take a look at that too. Some great stories in this issue. But we have to say a huge thank you, I think, to our web development team, TSE 368, based out of Baton Rouge. We've thanked them before because we're celebrating a year of partnership with them. And they have been with us since the beginning of this new trajectory that we've been on, and launching the first iteration of the website with the fundraising campaigns, which you saw us roll out last year. And they've been incredible partners in this journey to launching the Alliance as well.
Yeah. And a shout out to Summer Erickson's team at 510 Consulting.
Yep.
They have been incredible. And basically, when we first started this, it was just me and Sivani, and Liz Shamaria, also shout out to her, in the beginning, 3 freelance journalists working part-time on this, and now being able to work with people of this caliber has been incredible. Summer has brought such amazing expertise to the table.
And I'll mention that it's Consulting 510.
Thank you. Yes. It's been quite the week.
Yes,
I should also mention that our speaker series continues. Next Thursday, we're going to sit down in conversation with Megan Dhaliwal. This was a conversation that was supposed to happen yesterday, but there was this tropical storm that came in and kind of changed the calendar for
Yes,
for
it
a
did.
week.
Yes, it
Um,
did. I do also want to jump in though before we move on from thank yous and thank our own team.
well,
Uh,
right.
like I said, we're a little sleep deprived, and it's been like I said, an all hands on deck week, and it has been, a lot of us relying on the folks that we are fortunate enough to work with, and so a huge thank you to all of them, because none of this would have been possible without Katie Narowski and Tim Anderson and the team that we've been fortunate to work with over the last year plus. So thanks to all of you as well. And of course, to everybody who's out there and watching right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
And everyone who's been contributing to the fundraising campaigns, attending the speaker series. We could not do this without you.
Yes.
And we're really excited to continue to do things with you.
We are, and there are going to be a lot of fun things coming up. So we will keep you posted on what's on the horizon. But in the meantime, check out the Alliance landing page, hiddencompass.net/alliance. Pretty easy. It's also in the navigation bar. If you're on our newsletter list, be on the lookout in your inbox for some more opportunities to link to the Alliance page. Take a look. I think you're gonna like what you see. I hope you guys are as excited as we are.
Yes, and the countdown continues until November 17th.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll see us popping in semi-regularly to let you know how it's going. And in the meantime, you know where to find us.
And with that, we will let you get back to your day. But thank you all, and we will chat with you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.